Hey, I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and since we didn't do a meeting this morning, I thought I'd do a quick video to tell you what we didn't have a chance to talk about this morning. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more cohesive than my videos since I'm not trying to elicit responses. So, thank you. So, I've got up here a quick list of what all we've been doing this week. So starting with math, we've got the Google Forms notes, which is the one with the videos and the questions in there. Depending on how many videos there are, for the first time there were 3 videos, about 5-ish, 2 to 5 minutes each. And then from then on, it's been about 5 minutes per video, and there's been 2 for each notes. So maybe 10, 12 minutes of video, and then depending on how long it takes you to do each activity, maybe up to about 25 minutes for that. The Wiser worksheet should be about 20 to 30 minutes, again, depending on how long it takes you to do each thing. Now, of course, these times are averages that I made up based on how long I think it would take you. This is about how long we'd spend on notes in class, 25 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there. And then you'd have about 45 minutes to work on assignments, and some of you would get it done before that. A lot of you would get it done long before that, whereas some of you would take the whole time. So if this is longer for you, that's fine. And then the G Forms exit quiz, about 15, 20 minutes, somewhere in there. All told, that's about an hour and a half of math, which is about how long we'd spend doing math in class. If it takes you a little longer than that, that's fine. If you're sneezy breezy all the way through it, also fine, as long as you're being accurate. About an hour and a half for math. If it's taking you an extremely long amount of time, let me know. I'm here all day long. So please come into the chat and be like, hey, this is taking me forever. I just don't get it. Or it's taking me way too long. If these times don't actually match with anything, especially like the Wiser worksheet one, let me know. Okay, I don't want you spending all day just on math. Reading. We've got the section. You're getting about 20, 30 pages every day. Say it takes you a minute to read a page. I said about 45 minutes to read about 3 chapters based on the video that I've shared with you for about how long each chapter is. They average about 15 minutes. Some are longer, some are less. Excuse me. So about 45 minutes for the entire section. And then the reading journal, I put about 45 minutes for that as well, just because sometimes it'll take you longer to do the questions. Now, most of those questions are not yes or no questions. They're not one sentence answer questions. So I want you to be thinking about these in depth. All told, reading, and I didn't write this down, should be about, I've got about 1.5 hours for that as well. So that's 3 hours of school. If you're taking all day on these, let me know, and I will see if I can work with you on something, because something's not going right. If these numbers are way off, let me know, because I'm not doing them. I'm writing them, which takes me about an hour to make the reading journals, because I'm making up my own questions. I'm coming up with my own things. So, or Miss Frazier's as well. So we're trying to make things work for you guys. We don't want you spending all day on this. We're not expecting you to spend 6 hours on your schoolwork like you would be at school. Keep in mind that in school we have breaks, there's times where you have to line up, there's recesses, there's lunch, there's bathroom breaks, there's transition times. All of these times expand the school day. If you're getting all this done before lunch, great, then you've got the afternoon. Keep in mind that starting next week, we'll start adding a little bit more things in, maybe some science, maybe some social studies, history, some more project-y things. I almost have a code from you from Miss Stacy for Seesaw on that will get you to PE, some PE activities that she has. And I do have something for music for Mr. Isette. It's requiring some troubleshooting on how to get in. If you have a sibling in Miss Zeta's class, you know what's going on with that right now. Or if you know somebody in Miss Zeta's class, they're having some trouble with that. But we're working on getting that sorted, and we'll get there. Okay? List. Yeah, your goal is to get these things done in a day. If you don't get something done, if you missed a day because you weren't feeling well, or if you had to do something else for the day, or you just didn't get it done, Even if you get past the due date, you can still turn things in. Okay, the due date is just a guideline for, hey, you should get it done by now. But if you don't, you still need to do it. We only go to school 4 days a week, so I'm only giving you new material for 4 days in the week, Monday through Thursday, unless we have until Memorial Day at the end of May, but we'll worry about that later. Fridays, you're not getting anything new. So if you need to spend a couple hours on Friday finishing some things up, do that. That's what they do at the high school. They've got that whole Friday set up for study hall days so that people who need help or who don't get things done in time can go in and get help that day. I can be here on Fridays if you need me. Okay? Which brings me to my next point. If something's not making sense to you, don't perseverate over it for 3 hours. Okay? I want you to have some productive struggle. That means you're working through things. It's hard. It's not easy. You're having to think and process and go back and check some things. But if your struggle is not productive, if your struggle is frustrating you no end, log onto the meet. I'll be here from 9 to 3:30, sometimes maybe 4-ish. Okay? I will be here. If you need help, let me know. If you have a way to contact another friend, if you can text them, you have a Discord server that you can go on, great. Ask them first before you come to me. Maybe they know. Maybe you can help each other work it out. That's even better. But if you can't, come see me. I'm here by myself, except for the cats and anybody else on the server. Okay? I've got some people who are sitting on here, like they just want to do their work here so that they can ask, hey, I have a question on this. They're sitting there muted, with the camera off, and every now and then they just pop in and go, hey, I have a question about this. It's not a problem. If you want to do that, by all means, go ahead. Keep your eye on the Google Classroom because every now and then, there's only one so far, 2 when I get it posted up there. Miss Fraser did one, of little videos of, hey, this is a quick refresher. Some people had trouble with this. I'd like to go over it one more time on my handy dandy little whiteboard here. So keep an eye out for those. There's one on ratios right now. There's going to be one on conversions soon, as soon as I make it. And Miss Fraser did one on points of view with Anson. So once I get that posted, you can say hello to Anson. Fairly soon, I'm going to be setting up small groups because I want to have some book discussions, but I know that with a huge group, it's hard to have discussions. So I'm going to be setting up small groups. I'll start with the small groups we had in class and small group reading. We're not going to be doing small group reading. It's different. It's for discussion, but I might randomize the groups a little bit so we have a little bit more of a mix in each group discussing our awesome book that we're reading. I really hope you're enjoying this book. I loved it. In fact, I texted my sister Megan and said, hey, you got to read this because she was totally robotics all through high school. So I thought she'd like that book. And it's funny as, my goodness, it's a funny book, especially Noah Euclid. I love Noah Euclid. He's probably my favorite character. Yeah, check Classroom. When you start, that should be the first thing you check. Just scroll through, okay, this. When are they due? You can see that on the right. If they have a due date, if they don't have a due date, like most of the reading journals do, well, just get them done, okay? I'd like you to get the reading journals by Friday. Just get them done for the week, move on to the next week. I'll start putting due dates on those, not the ones that I've already done, but in the future, those will have due dates on them, probably for the end of the week. Times, what does times mean? That's what times mean. Okay, I think that's everything I had. Still posting the read alouds. We are very nearly done with this book, and then we only have one book left. I'll do a calendar, see how many chapters the next book is, and see if I have to start doubling up on chapters. Who knows? Notice down here it says Prodigy and Reflex. That's because on the big schedule that I pointed you to, that's on the web page, on the Distance Learning for All web page, on that spreadsheet schedule, there is a bit where it says, hey, Reflex to the green light or Prodigy for 25 minutes. That's something that you should do. It's not included in this time, but it's good practice. Again, we'll start adding things to this list soon. We'll have some projects, some other activities, some discussions. One thing I'd like to do is bring in some people. So maybe have some guest speakers. I know people from many different countries, and I'd love to bring them in and see their perspective. So if you have a question, a burning question that you'd like to ask somebody who lives in New Zealand, write it down. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk to somebody from there. As soon as I get that sorted. I think that's it. I might be switching up when we have our meetings, not the time. The time, all whole class meetings will take place at 10 o'clock in the morning, but it might be a, hey, Monday, whole class meeting. Tuesday, I'm going to check in with every single one of you individually. Wednesday, whole class meeting. Or maybe Wednesday is reserved, hey, I'm here if you need me. And then Thursday is the whole class meeting. Something like that. So some things might be changing. Remember, we're new at this, so things might evolve. They might change. 10-minute video, I think that's long enough for now. I have a lunch to eat. Make sure you take breaks. Breaks, very important. Rest your brain, but not too many, not too long.